Hi, everybody. Okay, so welcome back, and we are going to continue learning about division today. We've been looking at this for a couple of weeks now, and I hope you understand about the concept for division is how to share or divide equally from a larger number, the dividend, and we divide by something, a smaller number, and what's the answer, the quotient. And I'm seeing lots of good work coming back in, so I'm thinking that you're understanding this well. If not, try again today, and today's lesson might even help you a little bit more about how to think about dividing. So today I want you to be ready, have a pencil, a blank piece of paper, or a whiteboard for calculating on. Have your 2 worksheets that I sent through this week, and also have your multiplication chart. It's got all the sea creatures on there. So please have all of those ready with you, and then we'll get started, okay? Okay, so let's get started. There's 2 things that I really want to stress this week. And the first one is that division and multiplication are actually related to each other. And we're going to talk about that. The second one is all about having a new symbol for division. New for you. There's another symbol I would like you to get used to looking at. So we've looked at the subtraction, the addition, the multiplication, and the division symbol in a sentence. But there's another way to look at division as well. So 2 topics today, and so let's be ready. Let's talk about the first topic. It's about being related, and we've done this before with addition and subtraction, and we called it fact family. So let me give you a little example, and I'll pull out my whiteboard, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, all right. So fact families. Well, let's start with addition and subtraction because this is taking our minds back and just getting us used to thinking about how it's related. So let's just take some very simple low numbers for us to work with today. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. Can you write that down for me on your blank paper? Okay, 2 plus 3 equals 5. There's an addition sentence, and we've calculated it, and we have our sum. Okay, we have the answer. What's another way we can get to 5 with fact families? Go ahead and write that down. Yeah. 3 plus 2 equals 5. We know in addition we can reverse them, and we come up with the same answer. We have the same answer, okay? So 2 plus 3 equals 5. Same thing, 3 plus 2 equals 5. What's another way? We have 2 more in our fact family relations. We've done this before. Can you remember how we do it with subtraction? Using the same 3 digits. Yeah. We start with the large sum over here now because in subtraction, we need something to take away from. So 5 take away 3 equals 2. What's the other sentence we can make from these numbers? Go ahead and write it down. You got it. 5 take away 2 equals 3. So they're related to each other. We can flip them around and use the same 3 digits for 4 different sentences using addition and subtraction. Well, we can do the same thing with multiplication and division. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So if you have a whiteboard, you can go ahead and erase, but just remember that our fact families are related like this. And if you're working on a piece of paper, that's also good. Okay. So let's take a look and let's see how can division and multiplication be related. Well, let's start with a different number. Let's start with 6. Nice even number to start with today. So 6. So that's our dividend, our biggest number we're going to share out. We're going to divide it out, okay? Well, we have to say, let's see, divided by, let's pick 2. Okay, so we have 6 Smarties. We're going to divide them by 2 people. How many does each person get? And from a few weeks ago on the video for using Smarties, you should know that that is 3. You've got it. So let's take a look down here. Let's go with 10 divided by 2 equals something. I'll let you write this down on your blank piece of paper or your whiteboard. So we could say we have 10 carrots. Sure. And we want to divide them by 2 people. So we have 10 carrots, divide them by 2 people. We share them out equally. How many carrots does each person get? Yes, 5. So that's what we looked at last week. Well, let's see how it's related to multiplication. So we have 3 here, okay? And I want you to think of times 2 equals 6. Do you notice we used the same digits and we just reversed it and we changed that operation in the middle there? That's times or multiply. So we have the answer is very large on the end of a multiplication sentence because it needs to be. We need to be larger. And when we divide, the largest one is always at the beginning because we need to have it to share from. This is repeated addition, right? In 3 groups of 2s, how many is 6? 3 groups of 2s, right? So we know this. Some of us already know just by memorizing that, okay? So that's how it can be related. We just reverse it going back and we come up with a multiplication sentence. Let's see if it works again for the bottom one, right? We had 10 carrots. We divided it by 2 people. How many did each person get? 5. Well, we reverse it and go backwards. Remember, the largest number has to be at the end, okay? So when we do multiplication, okay? So 5, we start with the end one here. 5 times 2 equals 10. That's right. See, the largest number's on the end there, and the largest number for division's at the front. So that's how they can be related. They're factors of that number. And that might be a term you're not too used to, but we've used the word factor in here before. 3 is a factor times another factor gives us 6, right? In division, we don't use the term factor, but I want you to start to think it's really important that you can reverse these to help you solve division. Okay, so that is really important. So let's remember this first one up top here, okay? Let's remember this. I'm going to erase it in just a minute. So remember, you can keep it on your whiteboard or you can keep it on your piece of paper. That we had 6, we divided it by 2, and we got 3. And then if we want to think about it in multiplication, you reverse those numbers. 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, so those are related. So that's the first part. Remember I said it's in 2 parts today. The first part was to tell you how they're related. So I want you to remember that, and I'll be talking in that language from now on. The second part today is I'm going to carry on with how they're related, but I want to show you the symbol changes, okay? So the symbol that we had for multiplication was this, right? We had the 2 dots on either side of that line. That tells us to divide or share equally. Well, the symbol's going to change a little bit today. It means the same exact thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to draw a little hook and then a straight line at the top. Can you draw that on your piece of paper? Okay, I'll say it again. A little hook and then a straight line across. It doesn't have to be too wide. It has to be about that wide, okay, on your paper. It's about the same distance. Some people draw the line first and then the hook second. It looks the same, so you can do it either way. So practice drawing those a few times on your paper or your whiteboard. We'll get used to that, okay? So I'm going to erase mine, but I'm going to keep talking and you keep yours there. So I'm going to show you that there's 2 symbols for grade 3 you need to know, and that's what they look like, okay? A division sentence looks like this, or this symbol means divide. And I'll show you, we actually do something different to it to make that work. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here because I'm going to be showing you and sharing with you, okay? So here's our division symbol. So what do we do with this? Well, let's have our sentence ready. So I'm going to use the same sentence we used at the very beginning. 6, we're going to divide by 2 equals, 3. Well, that's our division symbol. Let's turn it into this so we can make it work. Well, first we take the biggest number. We're going to divide by. This is our most important number at the start because we need to have something to divide by. Okay, so here's our dividend number. The biggest one, put it right in the middle there, right underneath that bar, smack in the middle. You see it there, okay? Now we know to divide it by 2. So the divisor's out here. That's where that symbol goes, or that number goes there. We know what the answer is already, but here is where the answer or the quotient goes on the top of this symbol. We have the answer goes on the top. So practice that with me. Make sure you've written that down, okay? This is to say we're going to divide the big number in the middle. We're going to divide by, and here's our answer. There's another part of thinking of this. Remember, we said it was related, okay? The multiplication's related. So I'm going to show you a tiny little X there. Well, that means, right, multiplication. 2 times 3 equals 6. Well, there it is. So I'm going to erase this now that you've seen we've used those numbers in the right places. And I want you to start to think about this in a different way. It will help you with your division. It also helps with the multiplication because they are related to each other. So we had 6 Smarties. We're going to divide them by 2. How many does each person get? 3. Let's also think, how many times does 2 fit into 6 equally? I'll say that again. How many times does 2 fit into 6 equally? Well, we skip count by 2's, right? 2, 4, 6. 3. 2, 4, 6. Skip count by 2's. 2, 4, 6. How many fingers did I touch? 3. So 2 times 3 equals 6, right? And this is how we think in a division question. You'll hear me say that a lot. It might be easier for some people to think it that way. Some of us just memorize the divisions. And this is another way to actually calculate that and think. And as the numbers get bigger, as you go into grade 4 and 5 and 6 and on, these numbers will get bigger. And so right now, this is very easy to think about because we have enough fingers to use and add. But after a while, we won't have that because the numbers are going to get bigger. Okay, so let's do that another time, and you can erase on the whiteboard, and you can just move on to another piece on your paper. And it's really important for you to do this at the same time as I am, because in class we would be doing it together. Okay, so let's pick another number. I think we had 10. Our sentence was 10 divided by 2 equals 5. That's what we learned at the beginning of this. So let's make this sentence now use the newer symbol for us today. So your straight line and a hook. Where does the dividend go? Okay, the big one here in the center. It's got a nice big space for it. We're going to divide by 2. Okay, and we know what the answer is. The quotient goes on the top. But how did we get there? We know that. Maybe we've memorized that. 10 divided by 2, which is really 10 in half. Half of 10 is 5. Well, we had to think this way as well. We can think this way. 2 times 5 equals 10. 2 groups of 5 equals 10. Yes, so we're using the terms groups of, divide by, skip counting. So 2 groups of 5 gives us 10. And that's how we do this symbol. There's no other calculations involved. It's what we know for now. Let me show you the multiplication chart that I sent out. Some other people have different ones, but today I'm giving this one out to everybody. Okay, it's a multiplication chart here. Now this is not like the hundreds chart that we have at school. This is completely different. It has a lot of numbers and it seems very equal, But I want to show you that it's actually only used for multiplying. It's not used for adding or subtracting. So be careful with that. If you need that help, you had your hundreds chart to do that. And you had it in your math duotang. Remember, we had pasted it on the front inside cover. But this is a multiplication chart that you haven't received yet. So it's being sent out in this email for this lesson. I want you to notice that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 this way. And it also goes this way to 12. Interesting. So parents at home or older brothers and sisters, you can certainly help with everybody that's listening to understand how this works. It's kind of like it's like a hunt and search, or there's another word I'm thinking of, but you come together with the two numbers. Well, let me show you. It's easier if I show you. So let's take a look here. So let's go, we did the 6 divided by 2. We turned that into multiplication, which was 2 times 3. So let's find number 2 at the top. We're going to multiply it by 3. And I want you to meet where they join up. So 2, you're going to follow 2 down there to get to 3. And when they match, they land on the square 6. Oh, see how that worked out? So 2 times 3 is there. There we go. It's a 6. Let's try another one. Maybe a bigger one. How about trying 4 times 5? 4, find the 5, and they'll follow down the column and follow down the row until you meet on the same square. That's 20. Did you find that there? 20. Okay. So then, once we know 4 times 5 is 20, and some of us know that already, fact family, reverse that, make that into a division sentence. So we had 20 divided by 5 is 4. Do you see how they're related? You can see that, and I can show you that on the chart here again, okay? So we found the 4, and we matched the column and the row together, and they landed together on 20. But we should know this by memory, but if we're not sure yet, this is a really, really good activity to have handy so that you're not struggling with remembering the bigger numbers, and that's okay because some of us have to really think hard on the bigger numbers. And so this will help you to get the bigger numbers right away. And so here we are. So here's our multiplication sentence, and we know, fact family, we reverse that, right? We have the biggest number on the end here. For division, it has to go on the front because we have to have a big number to divide by. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So that's how they're related today. The next time that we talk about this, I'll talk a little bit about what happens if it's not an equal share, right? We have something left over, or we call it having a remainder left over. But for now, I want you just to focus on numbers that work out equally and share equally. Good. So looking at that, here for this week is the division dash paper. And let's do 2 together, okay? And we're going to use our multiplication chart to help us a little bit. Here's the new symbol that we learned today. Do you see that there, right? So we're going to look at 12 divided by 2. And you're looking at your sheet with me there, okay? So 12 divided by 2. What else did I say we could do if you can't picture 12 things and divide them by 2 people? If you can't see that, what's another way that we can get to the answer? Yeah, think about it. Fact family, reverse it. How many times does 2 fit into 12? How many times does 2 fit into 12? Well, we skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. How many fingers did I use? 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So how many times did 2 fit into 12? 6 times, right? So our answer goes on the top, 6. It's still a division question, division. We just use the reverse fact family to get there. Okay? That's the quotient at the top. And so the blanks are all empty on the top because we want you to think about how you got there and what the quotient will become. The next one beside it, wow, that's a big number. There's 100 in there. So now you see the numbers are getting big. We can't really draw 100 carrots, just like we could with Smarties. We pulled them out. It's easy to do with a few of the small numbers. But now the numbers are getting bigger, and this is what math looks like. They're bigger numbers. And so we can't do that. We can't picture it. But we do have enough clues in here to tell us something. We have 100 divided by 10. Okay? We're going to share it out 10 times. So how many does each person receive? If we had 100 Smarties and we shared it, divided it by 10 people, how many would each person get? Well, some of you are already thinking and saying out loud, I can hear you. 10! Yes, 10. There it is. How did we know that? Because we need to think 10 times something. 10, how many times does 10 fit into 100? Well, let's count by tens then. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How many times did I touch? Yeah, 10 times, right? So fact family tells us 10 times 10 is 100. So 100 divided by 10 is 10, right? We can say that two different ways. And we would be practicing a lot of, like in the classroom, doing our counting on our fingers and our hands. But this is a good visual, I'm hoping, for you to understand a little bit better. So it looks like there's a lot of questions here. I would just say go row by row. Maybe do a couple of rows, 3 rows one time and stop. And then do something different. And then maybe come back to it, do another row. Now, how do we use the multiplication chart when we are looking at a division paper? We've talked about this already. So we had 110 here, the two different numbers, 100 divided by 10, okay? Well, let's do that. Let's find 10, and we know the answer was 10. So we find 10, remember we find it all the way up to that number, 10. Go over to this column, let's find 10, okay, there it is. And we're going to, it's going to go down the column here, and we're going to across the row until we both meet in the same spot. We can't go any further, and the number there is 100. That's why we know 10 times 10 equals 100, or reverse it, 100 divided by 10 is 10. Okay, so I hope that helps out a little bit more today. And this is really helpful to use for all your multiplication questions that might be coming through. And division dash, there's a lot there, but that's okay. You can work on that. I've also sent another sheet this week, and it's called More Mixed Minute Math. Ooh, alliteration happening. That's really fun. Okay, More Mixed Minute Math. I love it. So this one, it's got a challenge in it that it has all 4 of the operations now you need to know. It has divide, it has multiply, it has add, and does it have subtract? There it is. There's some subtraction down here. So you need to look carefully. You can't whip it through really fast thinking the same. I want you to start now to really process all of your math, okay, for all 4 of those operations. So we're focusing on learning division this week, and that's why this is here. But this is now to also keep your brain active and remembering we add, we subtract, we multiply, and now we divide, okay? So take a look at these and remember, at the very bottom, I see a big number, 8 times 9. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. But I also notice this one says 9 times 8. Fact family, they just reversed. So the answer will be the same. Let's find that on the sheet. Let's see. So 8 times 9. So find 8 there. 9 is here. And we go down the column and we go across the row until they match. What's that answer? 72. Yeah. Now let's go to 9 times 8. We just flip those numbers. 9 down the column all the way and 8 across, 72. It's the same answer. So that's the magic of multiplication and fact family, and that we can flip these around. I hope that helps today, boys and girls, and I want you to have a really good day and always smile, even though it might get a little bit hard. Okay, we know in class Mrs. Zizeki draws these nice fun faces on the board all the time. So have a nice day, everybody. Do your best. And you can always listen to this lesson again, which is really awesome to do. Okay, so listen again if you need to. Enjoy division. You guys are learning a lot. Okay, so take care and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.